At the end of what has been a glorious day, you are listening to the Bugcast episode 463.
Bugcast is recorded in front of a live chat room audience.
Okay, I thought that might have been a bit of a brum at the end, but no, there wasn't.
As fade-outs go.
That was a bit of a long fade-out. That was the Bourgeois with Summer of George from Tulsa in Oklahoma. Ever get the feeling you've been lied to? Zach Mobley and Ty Clark grew up in the bowels of rural Oklahoma. They coped with the oppression of the Bible Belt in different ways. Zach, with guitar and vocals, spent most of the adolescence holed up listening to punk rock and plotting his escape. And Ty, for drums, took solace in music but fell victim to the opioid epidemic that plagued his community. After a stint in one of the state's many overcrowded, underfunded prisons, Ty reclaimed control of his life and responded to an ad placed by Zach. They quickly realised that they shared similar taste in music and a similar distaste for the hypocrisy surrounding them. Another small-town pariah, Vance Young, on bass, added to their lineup and completed it. They've played a couple of their tracks. We've played a couple of their tracks before, starting with Perverting the American Dream, which was actually their first ever single.
Oh, I heard that.
So find out more by checking out thebourgeoisband.com. And this track was released in 2016, and I think it was in like the very early 400s before, so it's over a year old, I reckon, before we played before. So there you go.
Indeed. Well, welcome one and all. This is the Bugcast episode 463 from wherever and however you're listening. It's really good to have you along on this week's show. We have our usual mix of Creative Commons music to play for you this week, and we do have a number of things to talk about as we go throughout the show. And there's a fly in this room which is going to get the wrath of the back of my hand in the very near future if I can catch the little blighter. But kid, go away. Probably one of the major one of the major downsides of the lovely weather and having windows and doors open is you get all manner of bugs and critters flying around your head.
But this is the Bugcast, so you should be embracing the fly.
Yeah, I think that's a slight misunderstanding of what the name of the show is actually supposed to represent. Minor, just tiny misunderstanding. Anyway, so, let's crack on with some more music. This is Plastic Light Factory with Little Adventures.
Where are we?
I don't know, Lainey. Let's find out.
Look, what's that on the fireplace? There's a plaque of some sort.
What does it say?
I'm not sure. It's kind of erased. But I can see winner of the 2012 European Podcast Award in the UK Personality of the Year category.
Fantastic. Lainey, we're in the Bugcast Towers.
You mean the place where Dave and Caroline used to stream their podcast every Friday at 9:30pm UK time?
Yes, exactly. I wonder if the live chat room still exists at thebugcast.org/live.
But what happened to this place? Where is everyone?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh?
You listen to podcast, you will be exterminated. Exterminated.
Run, Lainey, run!
That was Stefan Kartenberg with Be What You Are from Germany. All they say about themselves is they are a musician of old school, or an old school musician, I'm imagining. And I have linked their Jamendo artist page because there's very little information about said person.
I was supposed to say Stefan, then,
yes.
is it?
Hence my pause when I was trying to work out what I had done.
I did have a nose around to see if I could find more information about Stefan Kartenberg, but there was a lot of collaborative mention, but nothing about the artist himself.
That was good music, so get more of a presence.
Well, we've said it before, and they're not listening. And before that, you heard Plastic Light Factory with their track Little Adventures. Plastic Light Factory's sound combines gloomy psychedelic twists with dreamy reverberated vocals and a pulsating dance rhythm. We played their track Colour of the Light on episode 457 and Robin the week before. And this was yet another track taken from their debut 5-track EP Hype, which was released in October 2016. They are from the mythical location of Hyperion in California, and you can find out more about them over at their official website, which is plasticlightfactory.com.
Excellent.
Do you want to leave with this?
Yeah, so I think we'd be remiss if we did anything other than acknowledge what happened in Manchester earlier this week. So the arena attack at the Ariana Grande concert, which claimed 22 lives, lots of people injured. So it's been a bit hard hitting because not only are we from the UK, we're from the north. We have our show titler is a Mancunian. We have links to Manchester. Mancunian. Did I say Mancunian?
You did.
Yes, Mancunian. So it was quite close to home, and having to explain it to your children the morning after because you knew they'd hear it at school and you wanted to make sure it was explained.
Although, to their credit, they actually mentioned it at school, didn't they? They mentioned it in the assembly.
They did. But what my worry was whether it was mentioned in the playground and it was the information was mixed up or missed in translation because kids don't always know how to handle such situations, and it's been a real hard time for people. There's also been a lot of negative stuff online, a lot of very strong opinions. I mean, people are right to be angry, but when they're angry with an entire race of people rather than at the perpetrators, it just gets a bit much. And a lot of Americans, conspiracy theorists, suggesting that it was a false flag or it was fake news. And I just like to say, screw you to those people, because we have
Seconded.
Yes, there's been too many links to what happened, where people knew the victim or their loved one was there and we know them. So fake news, my backside, basically.
Nice.
But the article Dave's linking to is that Ariana Grande is going to play a benefit show for the victims of the arena attack. She's also offered to pay for the funerals. And I've seen a lot of backlash against Ariana Grande, people angry with her because she went back to America. But can I just point out whether even though she's a singer, she's a human being. She will have been as affected as anybody else of that night.
Absolutely.
And she's done exactly what everybody else would have done. She's gone back and been with her loved ones. And I'm really hoping that she doesn't let anybody make her feel like she should have done anything other than what she has done. It could have been anybody's concert.
The article that I'm linking to is from the Manchester Evening News, which is a reasonably respectable newspaper in Manchester. And in that article, they've posted a full statement that Ariana Grande has released in announcing this benefit concert. I just want to take a few a short passage from this. I'm not going to read the whole thing because we'll be here for ages. We'll never be able to understand why events like this take place because it is not in our nature, which is why we shouldn't recoil. We will not quit or operate in fear. We won't let this divide us. We won't let hate win.
Yeah.
And I think overall, if you look at how people have responded to what happened on Monday night and the way that people have rallied around in support of the victims of what happened on Monday night, that is an incredibly worthy sentiment, an incredibly accurate sentiment. There's this joke about how we react to things here in Britain.
Like the nice cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the things that came out of the bus bomb in London in 2005, I think it was. Keep calm and make a cuppa was a very, very oft posted hashtag on Twitter, is at times like these, regardless of who did what and when, that in real times of need, and it's not limited to the UK, other countries are the same, people will rally around to help. Taxi drivers offering free... Taxi drivers, in the past I've referred to them as the vultures of the road. But they were opening their doors and taking people where they needed to go for free, including Liverpool, which, okay, it's not that far from Manchester, but actually in taxi fare terms, that is quite a long way.
There was also families who were like, I'm going back this way, we've got spare seats, anybody stranded?
People were opening up their houses to people and to families.
And that's what should be focused on, all the good that happened, not the bad. To put this into perspective, I've spent today with our daughters, Cara, who's just turned 10 today, so we should say happy birthday to Cara. Her sister, who's 11, coming up to 12, and two of Cara's friends, who I think are around about Cara's age. So they've probably just turned 10 or they're about to turn 10. And one of them is going to a Little Mix concert tomorrow. And she joked, I hope I don't get bombed. And it was said in all innocence, but a 10-year-old should never have to say those words.
That is scary, isn't it?
Now, she didn't say it as I'm scared. She said, after all that's happened, I hope that doesn't happen. And I think she was trying to make a joke of a situation because she is a little bit fearful. But to hear that from a 10-year-old and then another 10-year-old saying, oh, don't joke about that, that's too much. That kind of got to me.
This is something that we shouldn't have to think about. And I'm very, very quickly trying to scroll back to a conversation we had in Telegram. I'm not going to reveal who said this because I haven't had permission to do so. I might have to look at this and pick it up after the next pair of songs because I can't find it immediately. And I think I've actually gone past it anyway. So
I'm just gonna read something that K5 Tux has posted and attributed to Carl Sagan. You are an interesting species, an interesting mix. You are capable of such beautiful dreams and such horrible nightmares. You feel so lost, so cut off, so alone. Only you're not alone. See, in all our searching, the only thing we've found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other. It's actually quite a beautiful sentiment.
I think... Here we go. I found it now. So this is something that someone said very early on Tuesday morning. Whoever the individual was that did this was after shock value, but it's the senseless waste of life that's hard to get past. We might be at a heightened state of alert in the emergency services and intelligence agencies, but speaking for myself, I'm not walking around expecting this kind of things to be happening. I know we shouldn't change because of one crazed individual, but I think it will make people pause today. The sentiment I particularly sort of found myself drawn to was the fact I'm not walking around expecting this kind of thing to be happening. And we shouldn't. We never, ever should expect this kind of atrocity to occur.
No, it shouldn't be something that's accepted.
It's not just whether it's accepted or not. It's also the fact that if we allow ourselves to be drawn into the anticipation, the anticipated fear of something that may or may not happen, then the, in quotes, globally, terrorists win.
Yes. We had the similar when we were going to Borneo when you won your award.
Oh, absolutely.
It was a worry at the time because Air Malaysia had had two quite bad events happen. One of their flights had disappeared, crashed, and there was all conspiracy theories, and the other one had been shot down over Ukraine.
Yeah.
And there was that terrible moment. But then you think, well, actually, hang on a minute. Globally, they have about 800 or 8,000 flights a day, and that's 2 out of all those. And if you add all those up over that period of time, it's a tiny, tiny blip. It's just a coincidence that it was 2 from the same airline. And actually, in the end of the day...
It goes further than that. The first one, the one that crashed into the Pacific, I think it was, we don't yet know what the reason for that was. The second one, we know what the reason was, and it's very unlikely that that particular airline would have been targeted. So the fact that it was Malaysian Airlines was nothing more than a coincidence, and therefore we shouldn't be taking the fact that we were going to travel on Malaysian Airlines as a risk.
No.
Because
Actually,
it could have been any airline.
But also, that airline would have been one of the most safest airlines at that time because they were so hyper aware.
Yeah.
There was somebody on a radio show that had phoned in the day after Manchester, and she was really panicky because next week she was due to take her daughter to a concert, and I'm going to cancel it, but we've saved up for so long, it took us a long time to get tickets. And the radio presenter and everyone else like saying, don't do the concert, don't allow this to stop you living the life that you should be living. And I think that's very important. The day after the arena, I was at a funeral. We have a joint tenant panel at work, and a lovely man who was part of the tenant panel had passed away. It was very touching because at the funeral, they shared his service and made an acknowledgement of the victims of Manchester. And I think it played on people's mind on the day because if he would have been alive, he would have been quite open about his opinions of it and, you know, his emotions. When we got back to the office, I went to Meadow Hall. And Meadow Hall is quite a big shopping centre in the UK. Always busy. It was like a ghost town. There were barely anybody there. It was really eerie. Because people were scared to go there in case, because there'd been a scare at the Arndale in Manchester and things like that. And then I noticed the day after it was quiet, and the day after that it got a little bit busier. So I think it's people have started to drift back to it. But at the end of the day, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. But it either happens to you while you're living your life to the full, or it happens to you while you're cowering and not doing anything. And if I feel like I get the stage where I'm cowering and not doing anything, then they have won, whether they've harmed me or not. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
But I do think we should go on to something more lighthearted now.
Definitely. We do have some more lighthearted things to talk about after the next pair of songs. Yes. This is Explosive Ear Candy with New Life.
Sunshine is kissing my face. You know what they say, you need to have darkness in order to see the light. And love is a strange little creature. You chase her and miss her till one day you find her waiting there by your side. This is my time, the start of my new life. This is my sign, start of a good time. The bad times are over, and nothing can go wrong. 'Cause this is my new life.
Sikam,
Tadamagush,
Shubenakadi,
Quispamsis,
Pokemush,
Skookumachuk,
Waikagama,
Tabansitak,
Homalko,
Wasutna,
Miramichi.
Mamali and Kuala, Quiquasutunak,
And these are all clearly places that us Canadians have not stolen.
and that Carolyn likely couldn't pronounce.
And I'm Chris.
This is John,
And you're listening to the Bugcast.
Over the past few weeks, I've been thinking, am I getting stronger or am I weakening? When somebody thinks you're done and wonders how you go on, it's bitterness and anger that fuels the fire. If I get off past meat, I'd give you what you need, but I'm already 6 feet below the ground. I'm part of a dying breed, and if I'm what you seek, you can find me in love's lost and found. Love's lost and found. But I'm not down and out, yet I'm in where it counts. This is something I'll never forget. When trust is something that you lost, and regret is too high in cost, I trust myself and no one else. No one else, yeah. If I get up past meat, I'd give you what you need, but I'm already 6 feet below the ground. I'm part of a dying breed, and if I'm what you seek, you can find me in love's lost and found. I've gotta get out of this cell, but the only one who can help me is the one who put me here. After all I've been through, now I'm not sure how to move on. Unfortunately, I miss you. And I miss you. If I get off past meat, I'd give you what you need, but I'm already 6 feet below the ground. I'm part of a dying breed, and if I'm what you seek, you can find me in love's lost and found. Love's lost and found.
80s hair rock.
Yeah, that was cool. That was Vitne with Lost and Found from Norway. We actually played their track Make Believe on a show 454. And then Dave had a go at me because apparently he'd chosen this, but it wasn't in the show notes when I was doing them. So, yeah, boo sucks to you.
Well,
They are an American independent music band, but based in Norway. Broad genre is rock pop with influences from the 80s hard rock, Japanese rock, and often heightened by the performance of the flute, which is interesting, teamed with Julian Angel on lead guitar, and they've been likened to a modern Billy Idol and Steve Stevens. Sorry. Find out more by checking out vitne.net, which is vitne.net.
And it is worth pointing out that had you not have stolen that track from me, then I wouldn't have been able to play the one that is going to be played next. And before that, you heard Explosive Ear Candy with their track New Life. Explosive Ear Candy is the brainchild of the muse-infested mind of LA composer and songwriter Tal Moore. Explosively infectious rock, pop and other furry animals, ranging from purely fun to the more artistic and deep. Now, we've played them a number of times before, and this was a track taken from their latest EP, Sugar Rush, which will be released in July 2017. You can find out more about them over at explosiveearcandy.com.
My name is Bond. James Bond.
Sadly, the news this week that James Bond, no, not James Bond, Roger Moore, who's best known for playing James Bond, died this week on Tuesday at the age of 89.
That's really quite sad.
Very sad indeed. I'll be honest, I don't think he was the best Bond of his era. I think that the best Bond, well, actually, I think the best Bond was Timothy Dalton, possibly. Although the one with George Lazenby is one of my favourites of all time, but the quintessential Bond, of course, was Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Without question.
But Roger Moore was very much a gentleman Bond in a way. And he was okay. It was really nice. It was good in The Saint.
Some people have criticised that his character, his interpretation of James Bond was actually taken directly from Simon Templar.
Quite
which,
possibly.
if you compare the two, there is a huge similarity between them.
But they've all had a different slant, though, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely.
They've all put their own mark on the character. I mean, Daniel Craig's is a lot more dark and gritty. Absolutely. And Pierce Brosnan's was a bit more. Not. It wasn't comedy, but there were a lot more quips and.
Yeah, I think
overly silly names for the women, and
I think there were. Yes,
he kind of came across as a bit.
I never
like
connected
Alan Cummins in GoldenEye.
with
The bad guy was a bit like a caricature rather than.
Yeah.
I know Blofeld was not exactly hard and but yeah.
Yeah, I never connected with Pierce Brosnan on a Bond level.
No.
But I mean, despite the fact that everything relating to James Bond is about women at the end of the day, I think that Roger Moore will probably be best known for his one-liners and his quite crass and probably nowadays incredibly inappropriate comments.
I think if I had to
of an entendre nature.
I think Sean Connery was my favourite Bond, but some of the Bond films that had Roger Moore were my
some of your
favourite.
favourites, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
The two of them are very much my Bonds.
Well, that makes up the majority of the of the films.
Yeah.
But yes, I'll leave you with this classic.
007 Triple X. Bond, what do you think you're doing?
Keeping the British hand up, sir.
And that was the last line of The Spy Who Loved Me, which is one of my favourite Bond.
Yeah.
No, Roger Moore Bonds. Twice I've done that now. But anyway, yes, sad loss of Sir Roger Moore at the age of 89 early this week.
So a bit of good news, I'm hoping people would think. Especially the UK people listening to this will have no doubt heard of Katie Hopkins.
Just a mention of her name sets my teeth on edge.
She was from The Apprentice. Sorry.
Really?
Trying to get the fly. She was from The Apprentice. And on the Apprentice, she was more annoying than anything else.
That hasn't changed now.
And then she realised that when she said something controversial, people didn't like it. And she decided that would be her thing. So she's been on a radio station called LBC. And she is renowned for...
putting her foot in it?
Putting her foot in it and pushing boundaries, really. Because some of the things she said, if a person of the public did that, they would most likely have been charged. She has been in court, actually, accused of slander against another person, somebody called Jack, that does budget cooking and all sorts of things.
She's a professional blogger, wasn't she?
Yes, and she lost the case. She's tried to appeal, but she still lost the case, so she's got to pay damages. So her relationship with LBC were a little bit bad anyway. But then, following the Manchester Arena attack, she said some pretty nasty things, including we need to have the final solution for these Muslim problems or something. So people have come up in arms thinking that she's inciting a lot of the violence and backlash that's happened.
Unfortunately, the phrase "final solution" was a term that was used by the Nazis to refer to the Holocaust.
Yes. She's tried to retract by saying, I meant true solution. But I think she was made to do that by LBC rather than off her own back. Now, unfortunately, she's still with her son, but she and LBC have agreed that she will leave immediately. And apparently, a lot of fellow presenters applauded, because I think if LBC hadn't ended the contract with Katie Hopkins, lots of other presenters would have ended their contract with LBC, if that makes sense. I think that they became embarrassed to be on the same station.
Well, this is where I'm surprised, because when you said to me that she'd been, I think you said fired. I don't know whether that was a legitimate comment from LBC. I was surprised because although I listen to LBC on and off anyway, but it's known for being hard hitting. It's known for addressing things that other people wouldn't necessarily have addressed. All things that Katie Hopkins is well known for. However, where the similarity ends is that LBC is a professional outfit. And of every word you can conceivably come up with to describe Katie Hopkins, professionally is not one of them.
Yes. But ironically now, she's left with the Daily Mail. And actually...
that's a good fit.
They're a good fit for each other. So, yes.
And finally, this is brilliant, it really is. A young lass from... I don't know where she's from. Scotland, somewhere. She was writing some feedback for her teacher. And under the question, things my teacher or teachers could do better, she responded with this: not use collective punishment, as it is not fair on the many people who did nothing. And under the 1949 Geneva Convention, it is a war crime.
How old? Oh, 11.
11. Firstly, where the heck did she get that from? Secondly, go. Absolutely brilliant.
If she's studying history, she should get some marks for that.
Well, her dad posted the thing on Twitter, and he got some backlash from people saying that it was faked. But he said, my daughter actually submitted this feedback at school. Not sure if I should ground her or buy her ice cream. And at the very end of the article, there's a picture of his daughter with ice cream. Because the people on Twitter spoke and thought that it was a really good thing. But a very, very clever response.
I do have to say, though, I was one of the people that people would be calling me a class swot or something, because I liked school. I quite enjoyed school and I was very well behaved. The only time I had a detention was when it was a whole group of detention. And my mum didn't agree with that. So much so she told the school that if ever it happened again, there'd be consequences. And I don't agree with that. I feel like if there's somebody done something, you act on them, you don't punish an entire class.
Well, that's the point she was trying to make, wasn't it?
Yes.
Anywho.
Yes.
Let's crack on. This is RogerThat with Waiting Arms.
Been broken, beaten down, tasted dirt as I hit the ground. You were there through it all.
Friday nights, 9:30pm UK time at thebookcast.org.
Welcome to real world, the famous don't green gold, the scotch is green paint, and you look like it. And I could see after you again. I don't want it anymore. This hard
Woohoo! It's the Bugcast, baby!
Running through them chicas in the Rica in my younger days. Got a idea, found Bonita, fell in love so frequently. Now I'm older, a lot less bolder, trying to find the one to stay. Don't know where to look, but this is just for her anyway. No black book, but frequent takers. Good love, I need a baker, or a chef, or a cook. Now smack my maker, smack my mama. Can't be bothered by second string. No need for dollars if it's the real thing. No time for collars while chasing my dream. My father showed me only need one ring. This song is for you, even though we haven't met. I'ma play this loud, so we can reach heaven's gate. He done sent me down, an angel cloaked in melanin. So when she hear this sound, she'll feel it through a skeleton. This song is for you, even though we haven't met. I'ma play this loud, so it can reach heaven's gate. He done sent me down, an angel cloaked in melanin. So when she hear this sound, she'll feel it through a skeleton. I know how weird this could seem, but it's destiny. Been waiting for you, cause it's meant to be. Running through them chicas in the Rica in my younger days. Got a idea, found Bonita, fell in love so frequently. Now I'm older, a lot less bolder, trying to find the one to stay. Don't know where to look, but this song just for her anyway. Set in stone like the Ten Commandments. You the one like the Mercury planet. Sip the sun, you deserve to shine. Makes it easier for me to find. So hold on tight, I'll wait on you. Wait for me, I'll get there too. We ain't gotta wait that long, cause I know you know when you hear this song. This song is for you, even though we haven't met. I'ma play this loud, so it can reach heaven's gate. He done sent me down, an angel cloaked in melanin. So when she hear this sound, she'll feel it through a skeleton. This song is for you, even though we haven't met. I'ma play this loud, so we can reach heaven's gate. He done sent me down, an angel cloaked in melanin. So when she hear this sound, she'll feel it through a skeleton. And I know how weird this could seem.
That was Geebz
It's
with...
destiny.
Oh.
Been waiting for you.
The pointy finger is
It's meant to be.
just to let you know that the mic's open, not to say start talking. You should be watching the timer.
I was, and then he's gone quiet, and then he said of
You
it.
didn't
And
watch
then
the
you
timer.
carried on. See, you got caught out as well. That was Geebz with Future Wifey from America. Very little to tell you about this person, other than that this track was their only track on Jamendo, and there was no link to a page, but Dave has found one, which is whogeebz.com, which is WHOGEEBZ.com. And it's not my usual style, but I quite liked it. So yeah, there you go.
And before that, you heard RogerThat with Waiting Arms. RogerThat is a composer of infectious but thoughtful songs and instrumentals. His main project is a folk international collaboration, which can be heard with the track Life is Wonderful, which we played ages ago now, and a growing list of other songs. They also have a variety of tracks in diverse genres that showcase the depth of their songwriting talent, including a range of timeless rock songs. Yes, that's my foot. If you'd like to find out more about RogerThat, who is from the Gold Coast in Queensland, then he has a Bandcamp page over at rogerthatofficial.bandcamp.com. So then, just a reminder that the Podcrawl Glasgow for 2017 is going to be taking place on Saturday the 29th of July at 6 p.m. from 6 p.m, should I say, starting at the State Bar on Holland Street in Glasgow. Myself and Caroline are going. We now have accommodation.
Yep.
Which is about a mile from Holland Street, but hopefully we can
East End, I think.
In the East End of Glasgow, yes. We can hopefully steer the pub crawl to sort of head in that direction, so that when it comes to falling out of the last bar, I don't have far to stumble. Well, you don't have far to carry me back, basically. It'd be great if you could come along if you're able to, if you're in that area. But otherwise, I'm sure you can also follow us by keeping an eye on social media with the hashtag PodCrawl. There is more information over at kevy.co.uk, where Kevy's put a post there about the event and a kind of a basic itinerary of how it's going to work. So next week, the Bugcast episode 464 will be broadcast live in the Bugcast chat room at thebugcast.org/live on Friday the 2nd of June at 9:30 p.m. UK time. And just forenotice that the week after that, which is the Friday the 9th of June, episode 465 will not be hosted by us. I'm currently trying to source a replacement host for Friday Night Live, if possible, or at the very least, to do the recording, but we won't be here. We'll be holidaying. So, if you'd like to get in contact with us, please do drop us an email, feedback@thebugcast.org. You can also, of course, leave us a comment on the show notes of the show you are listening to, which you can find over at thebugcast.org/show/463. And why not follow us on Twitter over at twitter.com/thebugcast. So it is last track time, and this is another track from the Austrian band Stonyroad. We played a track of theirs a couple of weeks ago. I don't have down here what the track name was. There's very little information about them on Tinterwebs. It just says here, some nice songs for slip sliding away. They do have a website over at stonyroad.de.tl. And if you are an Austrian speaker, or you can do a better job with Google Translate than I can, there is some more information about them on there, but I couldn't really glean it from the translation for some reason. The track we're going to play you is a single that was released on Jamendo in May of 2017. So thank you very much indeed for listening. We'll be back next week, but we will leave you with Stonyroad and their track Waves. And we'll catch you next week. See ya.
Exchanging lenses, exchanging sounds. You know how many times we drew the stones, how many times we dived into the sea. So so I lay down the songs we used to sing. Do you remember the tunes we used to play? On a mild winter day, the sea was filled with boats. From far away, they looked to me like paper ships.
The Bugcast is streamed live at the Bugcast chat room every Friday at 9:30 p.m. UK time. Join hosts Dave and Caroline along with the other listeners in the live chat room to join in the fun.
Can't believe you forgot again.
Can't believe you forgot to remind me.
Really?
So, yes, we forgot the roll call again. We forgot the roll call again.
So thank you to the following people.
Alex T. Dick Turpin. Nice to have you with us, Pete, even if you are a little bit drunk tonight. K5 Tuck, Gregorio SWVP, Lainey, Feru, and Yannick. So, yes, thank you all for being with us. And sorry we forgot to shout out your names earlier.
Yes. Someone else is going to shout out now.
Shut up!
You were listening to a member of the Other Side Podcast Network. Find more of our shows at otherside.network.